Happy Gopher Tortoise Day. Thank you for joining us for Northport's Shellabration. My name is Jennifer, and I'm going to talk about the booming home construction industry locally and how the local government is working within the FWC regulations to protect our gopher tortoises. You've probably seen burrows with tortoises basking alongside the roads. Some of the burrows have signs near them marked by the City of Northport or private citizens. And to make sure that all burrows are in the city database, they have implemented a habitat sightings app. The best way to get here is to use your favorite search engine and type in City of Northport Public Works. The result should be in the top 2. The application is in the menu on the left, accessible through cell phone, laptop, or desktop computer. You can upload photos and burrow activity information. Don't worry about submitting duplicates. A history of burrow activity and sightings is valuable. There is currently a contest running through May 28, 2021 for citizen scientists under the age of 17. The top 3 reporters of the highest number of validated sightings will receive an honorary Junior Wildlife Officer certificate and $50. One of the most common questions I'm asked is, the lot next door is for sale or it just sold and there are tortoises on it. What happens to them? The good news is that the city does a site visit in addition to utilizing computer databases of information to identify potential natural resources, including gopher tortoise burrows. Also look for scrub jays, eagle nests, wetlands, grand trees, and anything else they find. If they find something, the permit is not released until documentation is provided to show the burrows are being properly avoided, the tortoises are being relocated, other resources mitigated, whatever is appropriate for the natural resources on the parcel. So why doesn't the seller move the tortoises before they sell the lot? Well, they can't. The FWC requires proof in the form of a site plan and a submitted building permit application that clearly shows the tortoises and their burrows cannot simply be avoided. That means they can't be relocated for underbrush or clearing permits, and they also cannot be relocated as a condition of or prior to the sale of a parcel. So, as I said, they can be moved when and only when a building permit application is submitted to the city with a site plan that clearly demonstrates the tortoise burrows cannot be avoided. But I see tortoises and burrows everywhere. How could they possibly be endangered? This is a question I get a lot lately from builders because unfortunately the tortoise's preferred habitat is also our preferred habitat. As houses go up, the tortoises are forced into the remaining parcels. Much of Northport contains oak hammocks and other inappropriate habitat, which is why we see the burrows along the edge of the vegetation near the road or clusters of burrows on some empty lots. Habitat destruction and fragmentation not only puts individual animals at risk, but it has a negative impact on the overall population because it restricts genetic diversity and the success of reproduction. So what does it cost to move the burrows? Most of the parcels have 10 or fewer burrows on them. And when you see a home going up or a lot being cleared, this is the process that was followed to get to that point. In some cases, on-site permits may be issued if certain criteria are met for an on-site relocation. If the animal needs to be relocated out of their home territory to an FWC-approved recipient site, those facilities charge per tortoise. So the total cost, including the permitting, the authorized agent relocation fees, and the recipient site fees, can be as low as $1,800 if tortoises are relocated on site or if there aren't any captured, but they can exceed $20,000 in some cases. For this reason, I work with many real estate agents to assess parcels before purchase or sale, identify any of the natural resources that could impact development, including tortoises, and provide an estimate that can be used in negotiating a fair price. So the permit process seems convoluted because there is a lot of coordination that has to happen between the builder, the FWC, the authorized agent, and the city or county. So sometimes the builder knows there are burrows there. Sometimes they don't know the burrows are there until the city or county places a hold on the permit. But either way, they end up at the FWC permitting site. That permit may be obtained before the building permit is issued, and even sometimes before the building permit application is submitted, as long as there is a site plan that shows the burrows can't be avoided. That permit is good for 1 year. It can be extended if necessary, and it can be transferred if necessary. Once the building permit application is submitted, it can be matched up with the FWC permit. The city or county has done their site inspection, and they will approve an agent to execute the permit. Once the burrows are excavated and any tortoises are moved out of the construction zone, both the FWC and the city are notified of the results of the excavation, and the building permit is then released of any holds related to tortoises. This entire process, from the initial survey to excavation, can take anywhere from 4 weeks to 6 months. So how do we move them? Well, I dig them up. I use a PVC pipe to chase the burrow and basically follow the pipe to the end, readjusting it as the burrow curves. I do use an excavator with a flat blade to scrape away 4 to 6 inches of soil, and then the actual burrow tunnel itself is hand dug. I've found possums, armadillos, snakes, rabbits, and iguanas in the burrows, sometimes with a tortoise, but usually without. Once the home is built and people have moved in, if the tortoises come back at that point, it's not really an issue. The sod or grass quickly forms a supportive root mat over the top of the burrow, allowing you to mow over and around it. Even the apron gets covered in grass in fairly short order. The burrow shown in the photos below is at least 5 years old. I put the split rail fencing in to prevent the lawn guys from collapsing it with their big machines. They use a push mower and a weed eater to trim around it. The tortoises come out in the mornings to bask in the sun and warm up. Then they'll wander around and nibble on the grass and the vegetation. You'll see them most in mid-afternoon or mid-morning, depending on the outdoor temperature of the time of year. So what if you have bought a house with a burrow in the yard, or you need to sell your house and there are burrows in the yard? Again, it shouldn't be an issue. The burrows are protected just like the tortoises are, so you can't just fill them in if they look abandoned. The tortoises often move around seasonally, and a burrow can look like it hasn't been used in a while because it hasn't. They'll usually have more than one burrow in their territory, which allows them to move around for food, mating, or whatever, and still be relatively close to the safety of a burrow. But it's digging under my foundation or my fence or my pool deck or my driveway. It's fine, really. They do not dig down and hollow out a large cavern that could cause a sinkhole. In most cases, the tortoise burrow poses no threat to property or safety because they won't stay in an area that's high traffic. Important information that you may need to know. Hopefully you won't ever need it, but you can refer to this if you do. There is an FWC hotline to report any form of, let's say, shenanigans regarding gopher tortoise burrows. If you see someone harassing burrows or animals, it can be reported. It includes shoving things in burrows on a vacant lot. It includes driving randomly or carelessly through lots that have burrows, whether they're marked or not. It includes dogs running around off of a leash. Half of the injured tortoises at wildlife rescues are due to dogs grabbing the tortoise's hind legs and trying to pull them out of a burrow while the tortoises are trying to get deeper into the burrow. You can report and transport injured animals as well, just like you can pick up a tortoise and move him across the road. Take him at least 10 feet off the road in the same direction they were heading. They were going there on purpose. They won't bite you. Do not put them in your car to take them to a safer location. They know where home is and they will try to return to it. So you're actually putting them in greater danger than just taking them across the road. Hopefully you won't need these numbers, but they're here if you do. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for caring, and thank you for helping protect our wildlife.